Welcome to High Time Cartoon. Today I have a Stormtrooper with me.
Hi.
What's your name, Stormtrooper?
F18I.
F18I. Okay. So we will be discussing with F18I with what could have been done by Yoda in order to prevent Anakin from becoming Darth Vader, and whether it was really Anakin's fault for being too attached to his mother, because I know my Stormtrooper here doesn't think there's anything wrong with being too attached to your mother.
I mean, it's your mother. She birthed you. How can you be too attached?
So is Yoda being too hard on Anakin, and should he have trained him? I know that my Stormtrooper backstage when we were talking, he brought up some evidence from the Clone Wars.
In the Clone Wars, Yoda has to fight his darker side or his feared side, and he thinks he has no fear. He thinks that he's the perfect Jedi, and he has to tell everybody that to let go of their fear, but he doesn't really let go of his fear. So he's fighting this monstrous Yoda, who is just basically it's a reflection of himself, just as the dark side of him, and he fights him, but nothing's working. So then he meditates on it, and he just sits there, and right as the Yoda's about to grab him, he just disappears into thin air. The dark Yoda disappears.
So he stops fighting his fear and he lets go and he lets the fear
disappear from him. So then if he has no fear, then there's nothing for there's no purpose for the dark side.
So if Yoda would have trained Anakin, or if Qui-Gon Jinn wouldn't have died, that's also another thing. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn were fighting Darth Maul, and Darth Maul kills Qui-Gon Jinn, which is why don't people like the first Star Wars movie? I thought the first Star Wars movie was really insightful in terms of the modern problems in society that they were facing at the time.
I mean, Naboo was getting attacked by a government, so to say, a separatist alliance, and the separatist alliance were just like, no, that's not happening. We're not attacking you. And the leader of Naboo said, they asked if they wanted to do an inspection, but she said no, because she's like, if this you should trust me. That, I mean, why would we just come up here and say, oh, droids are attacking us if droids weren't attacking us?
This is also from Stormtrooper's point of view, but he does make a point. Qui-Gon Jinn, also we have to discuss from the Obi-Wan, when he killed Darth Maul, he cut him in half, and the Jedi way is not to kill.
Not to kill him.
And not only did he kill him, he cut him in half. That seems even...
and then threw him down a hole.
So that's something that... And also, Anakin was also watching the Jedi Council do some hypocritical things, because the Jedi do mess up. Because the Jedi, Palpatine, Mace Windu, when that whole scene was happening, that hurt Anakin a lot. And we have to discuss, did that hurt Anakin because Anakin was truly concerned about the Jedi way, or was he just trying to save Padme?
I think he was just trying to save Padme in that instance.
And also killing the young Jedi. You would think once you do something bad, once you get to a point where you kill someone or even hurt someone, you reevaluate your thought process and go back and say, whoa, that was bad. And you think, why did I do that? Where did I mess up? But Anakin never really...
He attacked the people who were keeping his mother slaved. He didn't repent anything. He was just like, whatever. And then he killed the younglings, and he still was like, whatever. So
he was too attached to Padme and too attached to his mother. He wasn't able to live independently because their judgments were too important. So that brings up another question. And you can comment your opinions on all of this in the comments about the Jedi having relationships.
Obi-Wan in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Obi-Wan actually, before he became a Jedi, he was going to marry, or he was dating this girl, and he was probably going to marry her until the Jedi were like, oh, want to become a Jedi, and he asked her, I'm gonna leave if you don't tell me to stop. And she really didn't tell him to stop, but she really didn't like tell him to go. So
Mhm.
Obi-Wan left, and then when he meets her again in the Clone Wars, they're just it's
Maybe the Eastern Orthodox Jedi can marry. Is a Catholic joke. So, um, so yeah, let us know in the comments what do you think what Yoda could have done if Yoda should have trained Anakin. Do you think Yoda should have trained Anakin, or do you think everything played out how it should
I
have?
think everything played out as it should have, because Anakin grows up to become the and Darth Vader, but he does kill the Sith Lord and stops the war for a little bit. Actually, stops the war for a long while they until the First Order comes back.
So even though Darth Vader was bad, he ends up during the end of his life fulfilling his destiny. So that's a true testament
So Qui Gon Jinn
of
was
love.
right.
Luke's love for Darth Vader. Even though people do bad things, your love can help them fulfill their destinies.
Which brings us to another thing. Why would Luke try to kill Ben if he
Because
saw
no one
so
was
much?
reading the books anymore. It's the books. No one's listening to the books. Listen to the books. No, it's not about the books. That was the newest Star Wars movie. That it wasn't
Yeah.
about the books. It's about the message of the books. Which is why we have Star Wars to explain that to us.
Mm.
Or you could take Anakin's and Darth Vader's side and just be like, no, they're hypocrites. See how that works out for you.
Yeah.
If you end up killing children, you should probably stop. So be sure to comment what you think, and
Comment and subscribe.
and thank you, Stormtrooper, for being with us to discuss Yoda's evilness today.